Alrighty, guys, let's cover how you can get 15 leads per week every single week. So I think it's like a pretty common number, the 15 at the start when I chat to people, and then it goes to 20, 25, 30, upwards and onwards. But I think just being able to teach you how to generate 15 leads a week here today is going to add a little bit of value. So look, obviously there's a lot of ways you can generate leads. Now, if I was in a business where I wanted to generate 15 leads a week, I'm going to tell you what I would do, because usually at the 15 leads per week mark, you don't have a really massive team. You might have yourself and a couple of trainers and things like that, maybe casual part-time. Now, the easiest way for you to generate 15 leads a week at the moment is going to be Facebook and Instagram ads. So let's not go into lead costs. You're some people that will post that they get $2 leads, and some get 15, and some get 20, and some get 30. Right? Let's just say you get a lead cost of $30, right? $30 per lead. That would be amazing. It's just whatever, right? You'd have to spend $450 a week on ads to get that, right? That's the easiest way because, essentially you can run your own ads in 15 to 30 minutes a day. There might be a little bit of time, where you've got to do a new campaign and things like that. Or of course you could go to an agency to generate it. Another expense for your business, but they would essentially do it all for you. So guys, I think, being able to run, your Facebook ads at about, that $70, $80 a week mark, $70, $80 a day mark isn't really a bad thing for your business. And what most people do is they start off at that $15, $20, $30 mark, and then they scale up from there. Now, guys, obviously when you're looking to generate leads, you need to have a super kick-ass offer. I'm not going to cover that today, but something to get people started. My two favorite offers is either a 28-day offer or a 6-week. You can chop and change the name however you'd like. Our very best guys are charging full price or overpricing, which means that if your membership, say $50 a week, during the first 28 days, they're charging $80 a week because it costs more to, implement and get people started. But you can just run it off Facebook ads. Now, another lead option that you can think about is Google ads. So, a lot of the guys in our program run Google ads. They'll get between 3 and 6 leads a week. And it's a really, really good way to market your business. And be honest, I'm not an expert in Google ads. We have people who advise and used to run them for us and things like that. We got some members of our program who just kind of figured it out and did it themselves and do really, really well. My guy Phil, I know he listens over in the States, runs his own ads and is absolutely phenomenal at Google ads. They're pretty easy to set up. So that would be another option for you as well. Now, guys, one of the things I just want you to think about, and I don't want you to go spend $5,000, $10,000 on a website. You can reach out to me. I've got a few connections who built, a couple of websites for us. It'll cost you $1,000 if you want to optimize your website. They're very, very professional, very, very good. They don't work for me. I just refer to them because they've helped me out along the way. But you want to make sure that, your website is optimized for lead generation. So, we talk about this a lot, nothing in our content, but, is your website should be there for one thing, to get names, emails, and phone numbers of people wanting to start. Now, obviously there's more mechanics of a website, but that's a simplest way that I can explain what your website should do. Okay. Someone hits it, they get all the information they need. They give you their name, email, phone number, they book in for a call. Okay. And guys, well, this is one of the big ones, but it's really tough to get 15 leads a week off referrals. Okay. But you want to make sure you're getting nice and consistent referrals. So, you want to have a referral offer. Say a really successful one is the member can give their friend 14 or 28 days free training. And then, at the end of that trial, if their friend who they've referred to the business joins up, then they get a week's free training or some kind of bonus, right? Now, how you really piece referrals together is obviously you need to get amazing results for the person, have a good community, be someone that they would trust to refer. But how we built that into a repeatable system, because we aimed in our clubs for 5 referrals every single week, worked out to be 250 plus a year, is we actually had a meeting about it for 30 minutes. It was on a Tuesday afternoon. Where we went through all our members. We identified people at the high point, so people who are doing really well, training a lot, getting kick-ass results. And then, we asked them for a referral, essentially. It worked really well, nice and simple. I like to keep everything simple. And guys, the next one that you can use is your personal page authority. So I'm going to run you through like all the ways you can generate leads. And then what we really have to do is you have to decide which ways are going to work best for you because a couple of different reasons. But the next one is personal page authority. So the biggest example of personal page authority that I could give you guys is for those watching on Facebook or the group right now. I'm watching a video. You guys are watching it. You may be watching it live. You know, people in the podcast, it's still an organic marketing route. Is you're consuming our content and you're eventually going to see me as authority and hopefully one day join my program, right? So with your personal page authority, guys, like I believe that all fitness professionals should be using their personal page like their business card, posting like testimonials, giving people, you know, results in advance, sharing like a little bit about your story, and then, you know, giving away some valuable stuff, which we call two-step posts. Now, guys, if you haven't been marketing your personal page, you're going to get a lot of leads at the start. But, you know, we've got clients in the inner circle who sign up about 4 to 7 people a week, like actually signing up and starting. That's not even a lead because you're generally off your organic marketing. It's why it's so big in the consulting space is it builds a lot of trust, right? The more videos you watch, the more you can consume. When you imagine in an ad is if you're not running awareness audiences and they don't know who you are, is the lead quality is a lot lower. But generally, if you talk to someone who already knows, likes, and trusts you, maybe a friend or someone you've been friends with on socials, that trust factor is a lot higher. So, you know, generally it makes sales a bit easier. And, you know, I think just everyone should be doing it. So, you know, you can go really well organically. Like a lot of people will use virtual assistants after a while just because the messaging gets monotonous and boring. But being a personal page authority, I think, is a very, very smart investment within your business. And we're not talking about leads in this because in your personal page, like you can run lead magnets and stuff like that, whatever. But you know, pretty much on your personal page, people are just getting a booking link. They're booking in and coming in and training. So that's more a consultation driver rather than a lead driver as such. But then, guys, then you've got your ex-members and database. So, you know, as you're marketing pretty consistently, you know, one of your goals should be trying to get as many names, emails, phone numbers as you can. It's like your database. And you're going to have, you know, people who gave you their details and didn't pay you and didn't come in for whatever reason. And then you're going to have, you know, people who are ex-members who trained and left for whatever reason, right? You want to stay in contact with them. So there's like a couple of basic systems like weekly email. I know that's going to be nothing that changes your life. But we have a system called the War Plan where you're able to get up to 3 to 9%, depending on the offer of your audience, back into train with you every single month, which is pretty cool. So then you want to build all this stuff into systems, right? I'm actually, when I'm presenting this, I'm just reading it off the marketing plan in a circle. So then you've got joint ventures, guys. This is my favorite one because you can get an abundance of leads very quickly. So, you know, I'll talk about a joint venture that worked really well for us in the past. So we did a joint venture with a local real estate agent. They had like 3 agencies on the beaches. It kind of worked well. We had 3 gyms and we're pretty aligned. We were training like a couple of their agents and they really loved the gym. So anyways, we decided to set up an internal challenge for them. So it was a 28-day challenge. It was like $199. 50% of that money went to charity. I've actually forgotten what the charity was for. They selected it. And then 50% of the money went to us just to cover expenses. Now, off the back of that, we got 70 plus trials off one email, and they had like big communication platforms in there, like kind of like pods in WhatsApp, and then all the managers posted in WhatsApp. And it went absolutely ballistic. It was so much fun to have them in. There was a few winning prizes and things like that. But you'll see how that was a joint venture. Like it worked really well for the gym. We got lots of members. Worked really well for the business because their people got starting and they got to show that they, you know, donated, you know, I think it was like maybe $7,000 plus to charity of their choice. So a joint venture is like a win-win. And you can set up those like in our businesses. We tried to have 8 joint ventures at a minimum running at one time. So essentially every quarter you could roll through 2 to 3 email database lists again. And, you know, I could make a whole 2-hour episode on joint ventures, but I hope you understand the concept. How we built that into systems is every Monday we reached out to 5 businesses via email, never cold. It was always a warm connection. And then we just followed up with them for a call on a Wednesday, see if we could do something together. It was often like a couple of meetings, HR, you know, whatever it is and things like that. But they're pretty easy to set up, guys, because you're a fitness business, you're helping people get fitter. They know their staff should be fit, or they know their, if you're working with sporting clubs, they know their sporting club, their players should be fitter and things like that. So generally people are pretty receptive to it. And the way that we built them is just off our current members, because they all worked in the local area or owned businesses or whatever it might be. Now, guys, another way you can generate leads is off your staff networks. Okay. So, obviously, if you have any staff in your business, it's just my belief that no one should be a staff member within a business unless they care about actually growing the business, which pays them their salary. Shock horror. It's crazy shit I'm talking about here today, because I know a few gym owners or fitness business owners right now would be shaking their heads going, wow, I wish my staff, help grow my business. But guys, you're paying them. So they have to help you grow the business. Otherwise, no job, right? So with that, guys, we would just help. Like when I talked about personal page authority before, is we would work with our trainers, would sit down with them. We would know all the networks, all the sporting clubs, all the affiliations they'd connected with, because they had a different life to me, right? And then, off the back of it, we helped and assisted them to be able to get, trials into our gym, whether that was a free or it was a paid trial. And sometimes they got paid bonuses and, all that kind of stuff. But, I don't think it's very unrealistic for, each of your staff members to get 1 to 2 trials a week, especially for the first 3 to 6 months until they bleed their network into start to train at your gym to help you get, a couple of leads. And guys, and then the last one is local outreach. Okay. You can do really, really well. Like we had a friend of mine, Aaron, he built like a 7-figure business off local outreach. He's based in Rose Bay. And he would just kind of like walk around the parks and like chat to people, essentially like lead gen them on their walks and chat to them about their goals and sign them up. When he told me that, because obviously I'm very Facebook page authority based, my mind was absolutely blown. And like we did a lot of this stuff when I owned the gyms, but definitely nowhere near to the level that Aaron was doing. He was absolutely incredible at it, an absolute savage. So guys, the first thing you want to do is like, there's more ways you can generate leads for your business, right? 100%. But what you need to identify is, I've given you a list of, 8, 9 things here, right? What you need to do right now, if you want to generate 15 leads, you need to just focus on 3 at a maximum. Okay. So the 3 that I would focus on, if I didn't have the marketing abilities and drive that I have today to get 15 leads a week, would be Facebook ads, personal page authority, and client referrals. Now, the 4th one that I'd add in, once your ads start to pop off, would be your your ex-members and database, and then you can build out the rest of them over time. So, guys, I just want you to know that if you do want to generate 15 leads a week, right? If you're not at the moment, you definitely can do it, right? It just takes the right focus, skills, and tactics to be able to do it, right? And you're going to have ups and downs along the way for sure. But if you just focus on those 2 or maybe 4 things, right, and do it really, really well over the next 90 days and just know it like the absolute back of your hand, there is no way you could not generate 15 leads a week. You could pretty much pick any of them and do them like really well and only focus on that and generate 15 leads a week, right? I like to pick 2 or 3 so you have a broad range of marketing, especially essentially like a lot of people usually pick Facebook ads, and it's just dangerous, guys. I'm sure you've heard of someone who said their Facebook ad accounts got shut down and things like that. So I like to have a couple of different lead sources. For those who listen to the podcast or follow me, I heavily believe in having 7 flows. Even like within our clubs towards the end and at certain times, we had up to 8 and 9 lead flows because, in one of them, the big club, we wanted to generate 50 leads a week. And that's fucking tough to generate 50 leads a week. Like it's really tough. So, I just want you to keep your business as basic as possible. Right. Focus on the 2 to 3 things that you can do really well. Make sure that, you watch a lot of videos, or maybe you listen to a podcast, or maybe a coaching program will help you, whatever. Right. But if you can't generate 15 leads a week, I would start there as a goal. And then what happens if you generate 15 leads a week? If your sales are struggling, then, you'll have to focus on that and improve those systems and things like that. But I think business is an amazing journey, and, knowing how to generate 15, 25, 35 leads a week, it makes you sleep easier at night, 100%. So, obviously I'm really passionate about it, and I hope you guys got a little bit of value from today. Focus on your 2 to 3 things, guys. If you have any questions at all about anything specifically, just hit me up on social media, and myself and the team will get back to you. We've got a ton of free trainings and things like that. And guys, just remember, if you screenshot any of my videos, or I know Brad's doing a couple of videos as well, or any of our podcasts, and tag me and Brad on Instagram, Jimmy_Pomponio, Brad's is Brad Bedford 87. Is you enter the draw to win 1 year of free within our Inner Circle program. So, I get to teach you all this stuff in depth, which will be pretty cool. And I just do these videos for free for you guys to hopefully, help you guys get some absolute kick-ass results. So I really appreciate that. If you get some value, you could you share it on your socials, and hopefully I can start to help more people every single day with these videos and podcasts I produce for you guys. And just remember, guys, if there's anything you really want me to cover on the podcast, just hit me up, email, social media. Just go, hey, Jimmy, can you cover this in the podcast? We might even do one together. We can jump onto a coaching session. It'll be pretty cool, maybe a bit different. And then, we'll go from there. So, guys, a couple of things that we have planned with the podcast that I really want to do for you guys. So I'm going to start to do gym reviews. Obviously, doesn't really work at the moment. I'm in lockdown in DY. I'm actually moving house tomorrow to Manly, so I'm not sure what that'll be like. But I want to start doing gym reviews. Like, all the gym reviews will be private. Like, I'm not going to say, I went to this gym. I'm just going to go into the gym and tell you guys what I liked, what I disliked, what I learned, and things like that. And then we're starting to get a lot more guest presenters on. So, the episodes with Brad have been an absolute hit. He's such a savage at sales. And I'm going to start to really try and connect you guys with some people who have changed my life and who are the very best of the best within the fitness industry. And then obviously have, a bit of the solo content like this for you guys. Plus, we're mixing in a lot of stuff from members from our program who are crushing it and winning, because I think you guys can get a lot of inspiration from those guys who are, in the trenches, growing their business, what they learned. They're all at different levels. Some guys have, 20 members, and some have, 600 members, right? And you'll get to learn like what they're doing right now to win, which I think is really, really cool. And I thoroughly enjoy those episodes as well. So guys, I hope you have a really kick-ass weekend. If you're in lockdown, try and keep it positive, try and keep moving as best you can. I did a podcast previously on what I would do if I owned a gym that was in lockdown. Make sure you scroll down or search in the podcast to check that out. And I just hope you guys have a really great weekend. And if you want to generate 15 leads a week, go back, have a listen, focus on your 2 to 3 things, do them really well. And I don't think we'll have any issues. We'll just all crush it together. It'll be pretty cool times.